Hi all, this is Brian S. Pratt here. Going to talk about reviews. Being self-published. If you, so you've written your book, you're about ready to publish it, all excited about it, and then you get it published, and bam, your first review hits, and it's a 1 star that totally trashes your book, and you get discouraged. You think this isn't right. Let me explain about my first review I got. So I published it in December 2005. Okay, first review came in, other than family and friends, came in 2006, January 16th of 2006. In fact, and I'm looking at it right now. I'm going to paraphrase it. It says 1 star. So I published my book. I'm really excited about it, and then I get this review. This is the first one, other than friends and family who are reviewing it to do me a favor. Anyway, it says, "This book reads like it was written for a high school English class. Worst book I've read in a long time. I like a lot of books, especially ones written by Robin Hobbs, George Martin, and Stephen Donaldson, to name them, but a few. Those books were well written. This one was not. Just wondering, how many of you are still in high school yourselves?" So, oh, my mom got hot on that one. No, how dare they say something like that about my baby boy? And I am the baby of the family, by the way. And that's going to happen. You got to have a thick skin, because when you publish your book and you put it out there, people are going to see what you've explained. The back cover matter, what you've been talking about, and they have an idea of what it's supposed to be. And if it's not like that idea, or not what they're expecting, they're going to hate it. And if it is, they're going to love it. So, yeah, I've gotten probably 100 1-star reviews, but most of them are pre-2016. I don't hardly get any more of those today, because I've gone through it a couple times since then. Yeah, back then it was really rough, and some of this I can agree with, but okay, here's another one that was written May of 2010. "The plot is okay, albeit derivative, but the execution is dire. Honestly, I read fanfic written by 12-year-olds with better pacing. The author cannot write dialogue to save his life. His magic system is rhyme and concentrate, and his action scenes are flatter than his dialogue. How anyone can seriously rate this a 5 stars? I really do not know, but I have my suspicions. Avoid like the plague." Confidence builders, every one of them, right? Well, what I realized early on was, at least in my case, when I first started publishing, people who liked my book would email me. People who hated my book would review it online. So I got people. So I started. So whenever someone sent me a message and said, "Hey, I really like this book," then I said, "Hey, look, man, if you could go online where you bought it and review it and say why you liked it, that would be a big help." And so people started doing that. Now, see, these people weren't normal reviewers. They weren't people who would normally review books. They're readers, not necessarily reviewers. Because I myself haven't reviewed all that many books. I mean, I had one guy go way overboard, and I had to stop him because he was causing me all kinds of heat. But anyway, so there's this one 1-star review, and he goes in great detail and explains about how every person who has done a 5-star review has to be me. Couldn't be anybody else, because no one could like this book. And he went through, and he actually names them, right? One of them he named is my mother. Obviously, she's going to be 5-star no matter what. And another one was my brother. Another one was a reader from Germany, no less, who had read the book, probably the ebook, and thought it was great, right? And so I said, "Well, can you do it?" And he's actually done one on Amazon.com in English, and one on Amazon Germany, Amazon.de in German. So his name was Bjorn, by the way. I liked him. And so everyone that I would tell to write a review for me would write a review for me, but they didn't normally write a review. So when this guy got on there, he says, no one can like this. I'm gonna say who these people are, right? I'm gonna say what other review. And when they found all these people who I asked to write a review, who had first messaged me and said they liked the book, he listed them all and said these are Brian S. Pratt, because nobody could like it. But at the time, the first book, if you don't like the first book, you're not going to buy 2 through 7. But if you like the first book, you will buy 2 through 7. And since the first book is free, fake reviews aren't going to do me any good, right? Because if I fake review people into downloading a free book, I make no money. Only if they go to the second book. So it doesn't really work for me making fake reviews. And since 2 through 7 were kicking butt at the time, and 2010, this guy here was 2010, May 13th, 2010. I hadn't made the first book ebook free yet at that point. I think I had it on a free discount, but in October 2010, I made it free. And boom, yeah. So if people were buying 2 through 7, I knew it wasn't that bad. It was rough because I'm self-published. I do it myself, and I do the best I can. But if you're going to have, if you're going to be an author, if you're thinking I want to write a book and put it out there, then when these 1-star reviews come on, don't let them get to you. I let them get to me at first, and it really brought me down. But because my book was perfect. Your book is your baby. And how dare these people talk trash about your baby? But looking back on the very first edition of the very first book, man, it was rough. It was bad. I'm surprised anybody even continued on with it, let alone pay the paperback price for it. My God. But now they're a lot better. Ebooks anyway. Paperbacks are still a little bit rough because it costs money to make updates. So I don't make updates there very often. But the paperbacks I can update as I find stuff, and it doesn't cost me anything. So it's really easy. So reviews, but even a bad review can be helpful, because I tell this story all the time. I got one dedicated reader, fan, you might say, who was looking over the reviews, and one guy trashed my book, saying it was like a transcript of a role-playing tabletop game that a bunch of high schoolers were having in someone's back room. Well, that's exactly what this guy wanted to read. So he read my book and he loved it. He bought every single one of them. So even a bad review can still be good. You don't want 1-star reviews, but that's fine. And yeah. So if you're gonna have review, if you're going to publish a book, you got to have a tough skin. You got to, because they're likely to trash you. Unless you've really dedicated your life to the English language and taking classes. I didn't take any classes, high school, but English, that's about it. Do my participles dangle like a cat hanging from a wire? You betcha. Anyway, y'all take care, and if you're going to be a writer, hang in there. It does get better. If you've got talent, you'll get through. Take care.